Welcome back, and now we're diving into the display ads. So Google has made some changes, and even like when we went through the ads earlier, where I was talking about kind of the deep dive or the introduction to display, right? You've got a bunch of different ad formats. Now you can still utilize all those, right? We go back to that, and I've got you the cheat sheet, and you've got the image sizes all throughout here, right? And then it's got some information on if you want to do basically GIF ads over here, and then the file types that are recommended, and then the image size for display ads as well that are recommended here, right? So the main thing that's really changed with Google Display is the fact that now they're pushing most people towards the responsive display ads, which we've covered those a couple already about how you create the 5 headlines up to 5 description lines. And, they're a valuable source, but I kind of wanted to just walk you through creating those once again and show you how this looks for creating these responsive display ads. Now, when you're wanting to actually create a campaign, or if you have images that fit these sizes right here that you want to also show, then in order to do that, basically while you're creating your campaign, and also whenever you are actually designing or putting a campaign within the system, right, you hit plus add, and you'll have to do upload display ads, right? And that's going to give you the ability to upload your ads from, and basically just put your own images in there, right? So you've got this right here, choose file, and so on. Now, if we want to do a display ad, create ads now. If we want to just do a responsive display ad, then that's pretty easy. You just click on responsive display, and it's going to drop down, and the box is going to give you, just like we saw in the previous ads portion in the dive-in program, right? You have basically where you select your images. Now, if you reflect back to this as well, you need a 1200 by 628, and the best size for a 1-to-1 is a 600 with a minimum size of 600 by 314. Now, the reason that is because what it's going to do is whenever you create these ads and you start chopping them up, let's say we select this one, right? Then you're going to hit down, and it's going to use as image here. So you're going to have your 1.19 and then also do your 1-to-1, right? And that's what it's going to look like there. So as you can see from this point is like the square images and the 1.19, like this is what these are going to be used for, right? And so the recommendations that it gives in here, right in here, right, where it shows you the 12 by 628, and then at minimum size of 600 by 314. That's what's going to appear within these selections. And then you also need to find something for your logo, right? So let's just do Coca-Cola. So these are going to be smaller images, right? They're going to be like a 128 by so on, but so you can't use any of these because they're 1,000 plus. So if we go to recently used, let's just do stock images, right? Logo. None of these are going to be big enough, so I'll just upload one. Quick, we'll go collateral growth, logos. Let's do this one. All right, it's huge, right? But I can cut it down and make it look okay. Square right here, right? So maybe I'll just use this for this logo, continue, hit save. I've got my images in there where it's at least got a square logo that it can appear. And then if I go back in here and I'm like, well, let's use, I know I have some other logos in here. Let's just use like one of these. So you may have to go a few different, put in a few different pictures to actually work out the entire ad, right? Because reality of it is you need a certain size logo, 1 by 1. You need a longer landscape logo that's in there as well. This will load up. And then you need your pictures as well, right? So if I do this, I don't know why it didn't load. Let's try just one. Yeah, the PNG files is what it prefers. So throw that in there, use that as the logo. Works out great here. Doesn't work out over here, but I've already got my logo. Or if I really, really want to use that, then I could do this, right? I could just section off the square so it still has my G section, and I can still use that for the one-to-one. And hit save. And then I've got all my images built out in here, right? And those are, again, what the sizes that are reflected here. The 1200 by 628, bare minimum 638. And then I have the square image that I've positioned for my logo. And then we get into the videos. All right, this is any video you want to use. All right, so we'll just do, let's see, Nexus. Earth. Obviously, you want to make it one of your videos, but that one looks kind of creepy and funny. So, Nexus page 2500. So now, as I go down in here, this is what it's going to do. If you utilize the images with the video, then it's actually going to throw them in. It'll utilize them basically as like the thumbnail on top of the video. You know, so this video is related to this, right? But it'll use my thumbnail, my 1268 headline, or my 1200 by 628 image to use as the thumbnail that displays before the video, so you can hopefully elicit the click better than, you know, what the video imagery is. And just like we went through the other spot, now in this one it shows just the image, as you can see. So the 320 by 568, it's more the video ad is the reason why. You can also go through and look and see what they look like on desktop. Key formats, and again, you have your up to 5 headlines. You have your 1 long headlines. So these are their 30 characters. You have 190 character, and you have up to 5 description lines. Just really put in like a couple for descriptions. The 5 headlines, go gangbuster. Put in all 5 of them, and it'll basically rotate them to show whichever is the most effective, right? Performance-wise. You got your business name in here. Now, this is where these additional options come into effect, right? You've got your call to action here. Is growing there. And then you can add your ad group, right? So as far as uploading display ads, right, you can upload them in their already created format, and they'll just go out if you go ahead and just add from the upload tab like we covered at the first part, or if you want to create the ads as the responsive ads, the responsive display, that's what these are good for. So another one that is very, very important that you always want to make sure you have in your size is going to be, let's do all but all. So you're always going to want to have your, let's do all, got some videos in here hopefully still. Okay, so we had a bunch of different videos in here. And so we want to pick the in-stream ones because this is where you're going to need an image ad within your banner as well, right? So this is going to be what they call the companion banner. Now, if I go into the video, I just edit the ad. So these YouTube ads are pretty simple. These are the in-stream ads, and these are what you're going to need this image ad for, right? And you can also run this companion banner alongside within display ads. You can upload it, and you can target particular YouTube videos and pages within utilizing the URL of the video, and you can basically retarget, and it'll show up in that right-hand side, right? So this particular size is a 300 by 60. Okay, so you'll also notice in the cheat sheet there's a 320 by 50, which that's a different format for utilizing on display. For utilizing on these, you do need to utilize the 300 by 60 pixels, and it can't be any greater than 158 kilobytes, right? So that's what's going to appear there at the bottom and show, and that's what's called a companion banner. Okay, so those are very, very important in order for just prompting call to actions and allowing additional points for the customer to interact with your ad and just provide additional information at more of a stagnant nature, right? You can put some visuals there, put a call to action on it, put a special, something to that effect, and those are really, really valuable to put in there. No, so those are the main types of display ads that you can put on there. They have text ads, but they've kind of replaced those with the responsive display ads. And to be quite honest with you, I'm not even going to show you them because 90%, in my experience at least, the majority of the text ads that are on Google Display Network are below the fold. So they're not really that valuable, right? There's some people that utilize them in some really creative natures as far as like finding 1-800 numbers. So like there is 800number.com. This 800.com, right? They'll utilize them in certain areas down here. In certain areas where they'll put like an expanded display ad or they'll expand a text ad out. The majority of people that are honestly using text ads on their sites, they're not the highest quality spaces where you want to be advertising. So that's why if you really want to dive into them, reach out to me in the group and I'll walk you through how to create them. But they're going to follow the same format as your responsive ads within Google search. It's just they're probably not going to be appearing in the most high value places, right? So it's best just to go either with the responsive display ad to make sure that you get the greatest coverage and allow the smart learning to create the ad according to what's going to best perform on that particular web page. Or if you're hyper focused on making sure that you control every single aspect of the ad and how it's displayed and making sure images aren't put with the wrong headline and so on, then it might be good for you to create the ads yourself according to the sizes that I've told you that are the most effective. These are all the sizes that you can upload in there in the system. These are the ones that are going to be the most effective with the largest reach and exposure ability. So within those ads, if you want to upload those are pretty easy. Again, all you have to do is just create the ad. And if we want to cancel here, leave. You just hit the ad and it'll say upload display ads. And that's the same that you see within the menus on the actual campaigns when you're out here. Right? You're still going to see, what type of ad do you want to upload? All right, you click on the ad section up here. You can do text ads, responsive search ads, or responsive display ads. Now, this is just because it's a search and display. Normally, if you're only targeting a display campaign, you're only going to see these responsive display ads, text ads, or ad variations, right? The ad variations are just your ability to put in like a headline or something different within the ad text for it to kind of swap it out and do example testing. I would much rather prefer to do all that within the system so that I'm not having something, basically do something behind my back that I can't watch or I can't predict. I can't form some sort of trend or take some sort of valuable learning from that particular experiment. So that's really the breakdown of display ads. They've kind of become much more reliant on smart learning and utilizing much more AI technology to develop the ad in the proper sequence of, basically the funnel, and making sure that the content is created in the best appropriate way so it displays with the most amount of information on the particular site and the position that they have, right? On the AdSense portion, you've got banner ads, you've got skyscrapers, you've got positions below the fold, you've got within the content, you've got a bunch of different opportunities to show your potential ads. And these responsive display ads, as long as you structure them right and put, the relevant headlines and context with the images you're putting in them or the videos you're including them as well, they can be some very, very valuable tools that are only going to increase your conversion rates, lower your cost, and put more money back in your pocket. So definitely dive into using these responsive display ads and see how creative you can get with your different messaging, and then look at on the back end after you've launched them to see how valuable they are in really driving those conversions along and making sure they're moving people further down the funnel. So I'll see you in the next lesson where we dive more into this.